In this video, we're going to go over 5 main regions of our body that we as women need to strengthen specifically for mountain biking that usually get left behind a bit. My name is Liz. I'm a physical therapist and owner of The Ride Life. It's online strength and endurance programming for women mountain bikers to help you ride better and ride stronger. If you want and are looking for a program to follow, check out the link in the description below. Pop into my $25 a month program. It's perfect. It includes all of these areas that we're going to be talking about today. So let's pop into it. Let's start number 1, our upper back. Our upper back is a huge area. It supports our shoulders, it supports our neck, it helps control our trunk for breathing, and we miss it a lot of times. A lot of times we'll strengthen more so the back of our arms here, back of our shoulders. We don't actually hit a lot of times our upper back. This includes some pulling exercises. Pulling exercises are really super easy to do incorrectly. We bicep curl a lot of them. And so if you're doing a row, which is one of my favorite exercises to target the upper back, you can do this incorrectly and bicep curl your row, which means that you'll actually just curl your bicep instead of opening up your chest and really pulling with that shoulder blade. Your shoulder is designed for movement. We need it to be more stable when we're riding. This is why you don't want to go full elbows out as you're riding. You want to ride more at this comfortable kind of like 60-degree mark, or basically what's comfortable for you for riding your bike, and not try to go all the way here. But we need, when you're in this position, this causes you to have more shoulder stability. Our shoulders are stabilized from our shoulder blade muscles, or how our shoulder blades attach back to our axial skeleton. We have some shoulder blade muscles that connect to our neck. Other ones are actually our pecs that do some pushing, but we're going to be mainly wanting that upper back for that pulling, because that's your stability when you're on the bike. So again, the bent over row is one of my favorite exercises to get and to target this area. Number 2, triceps. Triceps are an area that we as women just aren't as strong in. We have to focus. Push-ups are really hard for us, and being and holding that position is hard. Planks are a great way of targeting this. I know that you're like, well, planks, my elbows are locked out, or I'm on my elbows. I love full arm planks because that's where you're getting more of your arm. You're also getting a little bit of that upper back when you're in there. Another one that I love are up downs. That's where you're slowly lowering yourself down and then you're pushing yourself back up, as well as push-ups. Just basic push-ups are great for this, where you're really working on that tricep strength. You're working on your core as you're doing that, and it helps to target those triceps for that stability. Now, it's not that you're going to be needing and holding weight through your triceps while you're doing your riding. You actually need to be holding more of that through your core and through your lower half. Which brings us to number 3, region number 3, our lower core. Our lower core includes not only our abdominals down here, but it also includes the support for our lower back. These are super important for understanding how your cylinder works as a whole. Because as you're doing your breath work for whenever you're breathing hard on the bike and climbing those hills, we need your core to still be on. We have to have that posture for your upper back. We have to have your ability of your chest to open and close, but we also have to have your diaphragm able to expand down into your abdominal region. Well, if you're not strong in your lower abdominal muscles with this lower core, then you're not going to be able to hold stability and to give power through your legs while still breathing through your diaphragm and getting good breaths. Whenever you breathe through your diaphragm and get a good breath, the oxygen permeates farther down into your lungs. As we look at your lungs, if you do shallow breaths, then you're only getting oxygen in the first part of your lungs. As we look at where your blood flow is in your lungs, for the oxygen to go from your lungs to your bloodstream to get then delivered out the rest of your body, you have more areas where your blood is coming in at the lower parts of your lungs. So it's more perfused in the lower parts. It's not as perfused in the upper parts. And so if you're doing shallow breaths, then you're not getting oxygen as well to the bottom parts of your lungs. You're not getting that there. You're actually building up more CO2 there because you're not expelling that oxygen as well either. And so we need to get that diaphragmatic breathing. We need to get deeper breaths whenever we're doing climbing exercises or climbing on our mountain bike. When we're riding harder, we need to get that deep breath. But if we have to control our core through here, then we're going to be more likely to breathe into our upper part of our chest, not only making it where we don't get as much oxygen to our bloodstream, but also putting more stress on our neck because we have accessory breathing muscles that includes our pecs and our neck muscles that help open up our upper part of our chest. It's why whenever you are really breathing hard, you want to brace yourself either on your handlebars or your knees to help you regain your breath. If you don't have your lower core working for you, you're going to be more likely to do that. If you do have your lower core, including your lower abdominals, working for you, then you'll be able to control through here and take a better breath. It gives you more stability for your legs and your power and your breathing. And so that's why it's so important. Well, we as women, we're also wider than most people. And so whenever we have a wider hip base, then we need more stability because it's basically adding a longer lever arm from our trunk to our hips for our legs. Then adding on a single leg movement, single leg power, that's when we also need more strength through our lower core to help stabilize, to be able to use that leg, use those glutes, use your hamstring muscles and not just use your quads to give you that power and that push to get over those technical obstacles, to get up that climb, and also just to grind. One of the great exercises I love for lower core is a little bit more focused on the abdominal muscles because you're going to get a lower core exercise in just a second, is just a leg reach. And so you're just tilting your pelvis back, you're pressing your back into the floor, and you're reaching one leg out and back. Those are super great at targeting your lower core to be able to do those correctly. Next area, our glutes. Glutes are so important for us as women mountain bikers. They give support for our back, they give support for our quads, they help even out, and we're able to use our body a little bit more efficiently, more balanced per se. Also, whenever I'd say glutes, I'm also including your hamstrings a bit too. But if you are only hamstring dominant, then you need to really make sure that you use your glutes for this. One of the best ones that I love for this exercise, one is a deadlift if you're wanting to get both glutes and hammies, is just making sure that you're working on your hip hinge. It gets your lower core. It ties in a lot of different exercises. So doing just a regular, more good morning deadlift, not deadlift from the floor, or if you're going to go from the floor, put your kettlebells or put your bar up on risers. Having that give that ump from above where you're just focused on that hip hinge part and not bringing in your quads into it. If you're lifting from the floor, you actually add in a ton more quads. I really want to focus you in on mainly low back support, trunk support, driving with your hips and your hamstrings. If you want to mainly focus in on just your glutes, a bridge is a perfect way of doing this. So just laying on your back, doing a single leg bridge or cross leg bridge is a perfect way of adding in a little bit more support and control and getting those glutes firing with your core support as well. Last area, number 5, is reaction time. You're like, that's not a region of the body. Well, it's actually your balance. Balance is a component of your body. We don't really think about it like a region, but it's a key part that we need to tie into, we need to focus on, because we start looking a lot with our eyes. Women, we are typically a little bit more flexible as men than men are, and we need a little bit more input into our body and training for that system. One of the great exercises that I love for this is a single leg deadlift. Basically, we get all the benefits of your deadlift now tied into a single leg movement, which is what we do mostly functionally, and we tie in balance. The key part within doing your single leg deadlift is that we want to make sure that we are holding our core nice and stable. We don't want to be hinging in our lower back. We want to make sure we're hinging in our hips. And if we are falling over during the exercise, then lightly put your hand on the wall, give yourself a little bit of feedback on a tall foam roller, or giving a little bit more balance. Sometimes weighting the actual exercise can give you a little bit more grounding and balance. But I'd first rather you say like put your hand against a wall or just on the top of a foam roller to give you a little bit more support. I hope this helps with where to target, how to make sure that you are including these areas into your strength training, your cross training for your mountain biking. We don't need to just ride whenever we are trying to get better at mountain biking. These will help you with your skills on your bike, will help you with your balance control, your confidence on your bike. They'll help you with so many different areas. And not only that, but also you'll probably ride faster, you'll breathe better, and you'll have more fun out there. So incorporate these areas into your strength training, or if you're looking for a program to follow, check out the Ride Life team. The link is in the description below. I'd love to know what other things that you love that incorporate these exercises. Put them in the comments below, and also like and subscribe if you like this content and want to see more of it. Cheers, y'all.